Hi everyone, my name's Teresa. I'm wondering, do any of you like guessing games? I know that I do. In fact, this is one of my favourite guessing games that I love to play. I love getting some clues, making up clues to give away to see if people can guess who the right person is, and doing a bit of detective work. And in a moment, I'm going to be asking one of the members of the Cribs team to come into our studio here. And they're going to be talking about somebody that they find really inspiring. I'm wondering if I can guess who that person might be. But before we meet one of the members of the Cribs team, I've asked someone else to come into the studio to help me. Hi, Scruffy. Scruffy's actually really excited because he absolutely loves his friends from the Cribs team, and you're going to be helping me today, aren't you? Can you guess who you think might be coming in? No. Let's see who's coming in. It's Jason! Hello, Jason!
Hi, Teresa.
How are
Hi,
you?
Scruffy. Good to see you. I'm well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me in to your assembly.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you in today. So, Jason, I'm going to ask you if there's one person on this whole planet that you would really love to meet or who you find inspiring.
Well, Teresa, since our assembly here is called Guess Who, I thought I'd give you some clues and see if you can guess.
You ready, Scruffy?
Okay. I've got them written down right here. So the first one is, she was born in a place called Stockholm, which is the capital city of a country called Sweden.
Ooh, Scruffy, I only know about IKEA.
Okay, it was quite a tough one.
Okay.
Here's the second one. She was born in 2003, which makes her 19 years old.
She's quite young, isn't she?
Yeah, she's young.
Okay.
Okay. Still don't know?
Third clue, right, okay.
Third one then. She's very famous and often in the news.
Scruffy? Yeah, okay.
Okay, fourth clue. Now, there's some big words in this fourth clue.
Right, okay.
Right.
Okay.
She's what's called an environmental activist.
Ooh, two long words. Can you think of anyone? I think we're lost, aren't we?
Okay. I didn't think you'd get them. Her name's actually Greta Thunberg.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Have you heard of her?
Yes, yeah, we've heard of her, haven't we?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, the way I think her name's said in Swedish, I think it's Greta Thunberg.
Greta
Thunberg,
okay.
Yeah, but it's a bit difficult for us to say.
Very different.
So we'll just call her Greta.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit more about why you find her so inspiring?
Yes, well, she's young, she's very young, and she became interested in looking after the world when she heard about the environment and something called climate change when she was 8 years old.
Okay.
And when she was 15, she actually held up a sign outside her government buildings and to say to the people walking in and out and walking past, we need to change things here to look after our planet. And that was at 15 years old. And what she did then started a movement called Fridays for Future.
Wow.
And she's inspired many, many people all around the world to think about how we're living and to look after our planet as best we can, really.
Wow, so she's really young then when she got interested.
Yeah, she was 15 when she did that and the movement started then. But you know what really I find interesting about Greta is she's got something called Asperger syndrome.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's something that experts put on the autistic spectrum disorder, so it's one of those conditions. And Greta has referred to it as her superpower.
Wow.
Now, it does create problems for her and challenges in her life too, but people that have Asperger syndrome, they have a tendency, an ability to be able to focus on one particular subject and to go very deep and learn lots and lots about it. And you might be able to guess what subject Greta is focusing on.
So it will be looking after our planet.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's something that is often referred to as climate change.
Oh, okay. I think Scruffy's got a question. That's a great question, Scruffy. Jason, can you tell us what is climate change?
Well, I'm only just learning myself, to be honest, Teresa. But if I had a blanket, I'd maybe be able to.
Oh,
It's got a blanket.
Scruffy's
Oh,
own
Scruffy,
blanket.
you are so helpful.
He uses this all the time at home. It's
Okay,
his favourite. So.
right. Well, have you ever kind of been in bed with a blanket over you?
He does this all. Yeah, I know what I'm going to say.
And you've been really, really warm.
Yeah.
And what do you do to cool down?
Yeah, Scruffy's always
Simply,
just,
you can just take the blanket off.
Yeah.
But you know, there's something called greenhouse gases that go into the atmosphere when we burn energy.
Okay.
And it kind of makes like a blanket around the earth. So I want you to imagine that I'm the earth. Can you imagine that I'm the earth?
Oh, hold on a second. Right.
You
okay,
can't.
So,
What do I need?
okay,
Scruffy?
I think, right, yeah.
Oh, you're
we
quite,
need some plants.
quite right. The earth's got plants,
Yeah,
so I
okay.
better have those to. Now, can you imagine that I'm the earth with a blanket over?
Okay. Scruffy's on it. What would we do without
There's water
you?
in the earth.
Right.
Would that help you imagine that I'm the earth?
Much easier to imagine
let's
now.
just have some water. So now can you imagine? What is it now,
Okay.
Scruffy?
What would we do without Scruffy?
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're right. There's birds in the
Okay.
world. So
So it's a bit easier now to imagine
now
that.
can you imagine that I'm the earth? You can. Oh, good, thank you. So imagine that I'm the earth, okay?
Okay.
And greenhouse gases go into the atmosphere
Right.
when lots of fuel is burnt and energy is used, and it like makes a big thick blanket around the earth,
So we're getting hotter and hotter.
and the earth's getting warmer and warmer.
Mm.
But do you know what? The earth can't throw a blanket off of itself to cool down.
Well, actually, when Scruffy gets too hot, Whiskers fans him. But we can't fan the whole planet.
You can't fan the whole planet.
Right.
And so what Greta is doing, she is getting people to think about how to live in a way that stops the gases from going into the atmosphere and making a big blanket around the world to keep it warm, too warm. She's saying to people, let's think about how we live so that we can keep the earth nice and cool. Because, you know, when it gets too warm, it affects the weather and things like that, and it makes life very difficult for a lot of people.
Wow. You wouldn't imagine that somebody as young as her could have done all of this.
No.
I mean, everybody knows about her. She's only 19.
That's right, and to be honest, Teresa, I don't think Greta realised the impact that her one little action of holding up a sign outside her government would actually make.
That's incredible, and it is really. I can see why you find her so inspiring. She inspires me too. So, what sort of things can we do to help?
Well, from what I've seen, children are doing their part, and in schools they're taught about these things, and children are recycling things.
Okay.
And they're reusing things. I see children with their water bottles and they just top them up rather than use plastic bottles.
Okay.
And they're switching the lights off, of course, when they're not being used, and the taps when you're not using. And that all saves energy.
Yeah.
Because the more energy that is used, that means the more gases go into the atmosphere, you see.
So just small changes then can make a big difference. So maybe even, of course, we can't change the whole world, but a small act of kindness to a person.
That's right.
Switching off a light when you leave, like you said.
This is the thing, Teresa,
Okay.
that has inspired me about Greta. It's that no one is too small to make a difference, and that is the title of a book of her speeches that
Okay.
she's actually given to world leaders at certain conferences.
Wow,
and
I'd
it's
love to
reminded
read
me.
that.
Yeah, it's quite a small book,
Okay.
but it's also reminded me of a part of the Bible. Can I read it to you?
Oh, I'd love you to. Please do.
So here I have a Bible, and I'd like to read some verses from a book called Matthew, which is in the
Okay.
New Testament, okay?
Let's have a listen.
Important words for Christian people. And it's Jesus speaking to his followers. He says, "What is the price of 2 sparrows, 1 copper coin? But not a single sparrow can fall to the ground without your Father knowing it. And the very hairs of your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid. You are more valuable to God than a whole flock of sparrows."
Wow.
And Jesus spoke those words to his followers before sending them out to do his work. And well, they show me that God notices the small things. If he can notice a little sparrow when it falls to the ground, he can notice you, Scruffy, he can notice you and I, he can notice the smallest child, and he notices the small things that we do.
So not just the big things.
No, although Greta's making a big impact in the world, we can do some small things that make a difference even to one person, even if it's like a kind word.
That's great to know, because Scruffy often says that he feels really small, but you've got a lot of hairs on your head. It's good to know that God knows even that many.
Wow.
Yeah.
He does have a lot of hairs on his head, doesn't he?
I thank you so much, Jason, for coming into the studio and telling us about Greater. And I think what I'll do is I'll pray now, and it's really exciting, and it makes me feel quite peaceful that God cares about small things.
Yes.
So let's pray together. You can just listen. You can join in. I'm going to close my eyes now and thank God for what we've heard today. Dear Father God, thank you for Jason coming into the studio and telling us about Greater, and I really thank you for all the amazing things she's done. And Lord, I thank you that you care about the small things, that we don't have to be old or important. We can do small things, small acts of kindness to people, small things to look after our planet. I thank you, you know everything about us, and that you care about the big things and the small things. Please help us to remember that you know everything that we have to do in our day, and that you'd help us to always try and be kind and live the way that you would want us to. Amen.
Amen.